Welcome to this English listening practice. In this video, you will listen to a story about something many people experience in their 20s, but rarely talk about honestly. This story will help you improve your listening skills while also understanding yourself better. Try to relax, listen slowly, and focus on the meaning. And now, let's begin. In your 20s, life begins to feel very different from before. You are no longer a teenager, but at the same time, you don't feel like a real adult either. Everything around you seems normal, but inside, there is a quiet feeling that something is not clear, something is missing. You wake up every day, follow your routine, go to school or work, talk to people, and do what you are supposed to do. But deep inside, there is always a question that keeps coming back to you, especially when you are alone and have time to think. That question is simple, but also uncomfortable. You start asking yourself, what am I really doing with my life? And the more you think about it, the more confused you become, because you don't have a clear answer. At first, this feeling is small and easy to ignore. You can distract yourself with work, friends, or your phone. But over time, it slowly grows stronger, and it becomes harder to pretend that everything is fine. You begin to feel like you are moving forward in life, but without a real direction. It feels like walking on a long road without knowing where it leads, or why you started walking in the first place. One of the main reasons for this feeling is expectation. People often say that your 20s should be the best years of your life, full of energy, success, and exciting experiences. But in reality, it often feels confusing and stressful. You are expected to make important decisions about your future, even when you are still trying to understand who you are and what you really want. You start to question everything: your goals, your choices, your direction, and even your identity. You are no longer sure if you are following your own path or just doing what others expect from you. Another reason you feel lost is comparison. When you look at other people, especially those your age, it seems like they already have everything figured out and are moving forward with confidence. Some people already have stable careers, some are making money, and others are achieving things that look impressive from the outside. And without realizing it, you start comparing yourself to them. The more you compare, the worse you feel. You begin to think that you are falling behind, even if your journey is completely different. This creates pressure that slowly builds inside you. Social media makes this feeling even stronger. Every day, you see images of success, happiness, and perfect lives. It feels like everyone else is doing well, except you. But what you don't see is the full story. People rarely share their struggles, their failures, or their moments of doubt. You are comparing your real life to someone else's best moments. Fear is another important reason why you feel lost. You are afraid of making the wrong decision, and that fear stops you from moving forward with confidence. You start thinking, what if I choose the wrong career? What if I waste my time? What if I fail? These thoughts repeat again and again, making you feel stuck. Because of this fear, you hesitate. You spend more time thinking than acting. You wait for the perfect moment, but that moment never really comes. Having too many choices can also make things more difficult. In today's world, there are endless possibilities, and instead of feeling free, you feel overwhelmed. Every decision feels important, and every choice means giving up another option. This makes even simple decisions feel heavy and stressful. There is also pressure from society, family, and even yourself. You feel like you should be successful by a certain age, and that creates an invisible deadline. But the truth is, everyone moves at a different pace. Some people succeed early, some later, and some change their path many times before finding what works for them. Feeling lost is not a sign that you are failing. In fact, it often means that you are thinking deeply about your life and trying to understand what really matters to you. It means you are not just following the crowd. You are searching for your own direction, even if it takes time and feels uncomfortable. You don't need to have everything figured out right now. It is okay to take your time, to explore, to try different things, and even to make mistakes along the way. What matters most is that you keep moving, even if the steps are small. Because clarity comes from action, not just from thinking and waiting. So if you feel lost right now, take a moment to breathe and really think about where you are in life. You are not behind, even if it feels that way sometimes. You are not broken, even if things don't make sense yet, and you are definitely not failing. Just because you don't have everything figured out, what you are feeling right now is something almost everyone goes through at some point in their life. It is the space between who you were and who you are becoming. And that space can feel uncomfortable, confusing, even a little scary. But it is also where real growth begins, because one day, when you look back at this moment, you will not see it as a time when you were lost. You will see it as the time when you started asking the right questions, the time when you stopped following others, and slowly began creating your own path. So don't rush the process. Don't compare your journey to anyone else. And don't be afraid of not knowing what comes next, because sometimes not knowing is exactly what leads you to where you are meant to be.